This portion of the news is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community.
If left untreated, diabetes can cause many serious health-related complications, including kidney failure and blindness. The total estimated cost of diabetes in the United States was $245 billion in 2012, which includes both healthcare costs and lost productivity. A new study examined the prevalence of diabetes in the U.S., including undiagnosed diabetes and pre-diabetes.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Diabetes continues to rise in the U.S.
14% of the people in the United States have diabetes, and this is even higher in Asians and blacks and Hispanics.
And we specifically looked at data from 1988 until 2012 in adults age 20 and above.
Dr. Catherine Cowie from the National Institutes of Health and Dr. Andy Menke from Social and Scientific Systems Incorporated, along with their co-authors, used data from a long-running national survey of American adults known as NHANES. About 26,000 people were evaluated to determine prevalence and trends in diabetes.
1/3 of diabetes is undiagnosed, and we also found that 1/3 of the population has prediabetes.
This means half of people in the United States have either diabetes or prediabetes.
For the first time in 2011-2012, we had data on Asian Americans. Their prevalence of diabetes was as high as it is in blacks and Hispanics, around 20% of the population.
Up to 50% of Asians and Hispanics with diabetes were unaware that they had the condition.
That's compared to about 1/3 with undiagnosed diabetes in the white and black populations.
Diabetes continues to rise, and it continues to rise in all age and sex, race, ethnic groups, and in groups according to education and income.
Catherine Dolph, The JAMA Report.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Study authors say the high rate of diabetes in Asian Americans is occurring despite the fact that their body mass index, or BMI, is lower than the BMI in the general population. Richard Gomez has been arrested on felony domestic battery, burglary, and second-degree kidnapping charges after deputies were called to investigate a physical domestic. The Nye County Sheriff's deputies observed a female lying on the ground near a vehicle upon arrival. The woman was yelling, "I don't have the key," to a male identified as Gomez inside the vehicle, according to police. Gomez at one point allegedly dragged her from the vehicle and threw her to the ground, kicked her several times in the head, and also threw a glass bottle at her head, according to the report. Medics confirmed the lumps to the female's head, and Gomez was transported to the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center, where he was booked. Bail has been set at $58,000. David Edward Mercer was sentenced to 182 days in jail and a $1,000 fine for crimes relating to the sexual abuse of a minor. He was charged with open and gross lewdness, a gross misdemeanor, as a result of a plea agreement. The deal was negotiated to prevent the victim from reliving the experience once again. Mercer's pled not guilty 2 years ago. The victim had to testify at that time. She is under the age of 14 years old. A 9/11 memorial event was held Friday night at GI USA. We spoke to an officer who worked on that day in 2001 in New York City and lost many friends to the terrorist attack.
Well, it's a great event. They're honoring the fire department. They've honored police officers, and it's just brought the community together, which is important, especially for this special day, 9/11. We had speakers. We had Colonel Neary. We also had Cindy, the owner of GI USA, who made it all possible, and my wife, Reva Braun. The young people don't really get taught about the sacrifice that was made during 9/11, and that's what I feel. I miss my friends who died in the towers, and it's it makes me feel good when I see people here at GIUSA and they're at least giving some credit to the men and women who died at 9/11, and also the civilians, the 3,000 civilians.
Brave man, and thank you so much for your service. Another 4.7 magnitude earthquake hit northwest Nevada, tying the largest in a year-long swarm recorded at the Sheldon National Wildlife Refuge near the Oregon border. The University of Nevada's Reno, Nevada Seismological Laboratory said the 4.7 magnitude earthquake hit the area about 6:55 this morning. At least 5 aftershocks at magnitude 2 or greater have been recorded within the 3 hours following. Seismologists said in August that a flare-up since mid-July had brought the total to more than 5,600 earthquakes. When we return, we're going to give you an update on ride sharing.